I want to tell you a little story. So, 50 years ago, 50 years ago yesterday, my family moved into a house. I was young, still not in school, but we moved into our new house that I grew up in. And the thing I remember about that day, that house, was as we were walking in, there was a line of bushes along the left hand side coming from the door. And I looked over, short little kid, remember 50 years ago, and there was something in the bushes. Now, being May, the bushes did not have all the leaves on them, whatever bushes they were, I don't know. But I could see something in there. So I reached in and pulled it out, and it was a book. Now, I had started reading at this age. I was five and a half, and I was intrigued because I loved books and I'd never seen a book like this before. This happened to be a volume of the Hardy Boys series. It was the Mystery at Devil's Paw, and the book was not in good shape. But that was one of my first real books. That was not a picture book. That was not counting ABCs, that type of stuff. And I remember reading that book. When I got into kindergarten, I was starting to read better and I was reading it. Yes, I read Hardy Boys in kindergarten. I read Stephen King when I was in third and fourth grade. My mother got them for me as a box set. That's how I met Reese on my other podcast, The Horror Lasagna, but that's other stories. But this was my first Hardy Boy book. Some of the things I remember about that book, not only was it in very poor condition, but when I was reading this, my grandfather, as a little kid reading out loud, my grandfather recorded me reading it. Old reel to reel cassette tape, for those of you that know, and a microphone, holding the microphone out to me. He recorded me. And I remember in the recording, me saying, well, here, Grandpa, you read. And I gave it to my grandfather was not a very good reader. He was not a stupid man at all. He just wasn't educated well, and he didn't read well. And his writing, we kind of all laughed and teased him because he had a very distinct writing style. The way he made block letters, everything was capital. You could always tell my grandpa's handwriting. But I remember as he was reading it, and I heard this tape years later several times. But as he was reading it and stumbling over the words, I said, no, Grandpa, that's not the way you do it. Let me show you how to do it, like a little kid does. And my reading was not any better than his was at the time. But anyway, I'm telling this story because that was the real beginning of my reading adventure. And that's why I feel it's so important to get kids reading, to encourage kids to read early, to read anything they want, not limiting what they read. I mean, this was Mystery at Devil's Paw. That sounds like something you should keep away from a kid, but it was Hardy Boys. And I don't think I ever got censored on anything I ever read. But that's why it's important for kids to read. It was a lifelong thing from that point on. But here's the real point, because my mother mentioned to me, she said, hey, it's been 50 years since we moved into this house. So it's like a mini celebration. I said, wow, that's pretty cool. And the greatest thing was I just rediscovered the original book. This is it. Look how bad a shape that is. This is about how it was. There used to be a back cover. I don't know where the back cover went, but it's like it falling apart. It was taped. I taped it at one point. The pages are not great. So this is an original book. When she mentioned, hey, it's been 50 years, do you remember that? This is the book that got me reading, and this is the book that I still kind of cherish because of the memories with it. And yes, I got other Hardy Boy books, and I've got other stories I can tell you with Hardy Boy books. With the Great Blizzard, that's one. But that's it for today. Just the memories of finding that book and how much it meant and keeping it through the years and finding it again about the same time when it's this anniversary. So I just wanted to share that with everybody, and hope you enjoyed the adventure.